Alright, well, welcome to the Shantz graveyard. I guess that's how you say it. Shantz. But this is an oldie, so we're going to enjoy walking through this one. So this cemetery has been on my list for quite a while to come visit. I think some viewers may have suggested this one to me, so this is an oldie. So I got some history to tell about this one as well. And of course, we're in Pennsylvania here, in Lancaster County, on the countryside of Lancaster County. Very historic area. Lots of farms and really old homes. Kind of a neat place to explore. And here is a quick overview of the cemetery. It's got a nice stone wall around it. You can see all the Lancaster countryside in the background, and they're out spreading fresh manure on the fields. In fact, the one tractor is headed up that way. If you're not familiar with that, it's with what farms do here in Pennsylvania and a lot of other places. They spread the cow manure and the chicken manure on the fields as fertilizer. Doesn't smell the best, but it's what goes on. You can't smell it, but I can. All right, let's get into this cemetery, and as we're walking around, I'll tell you some history about it as well. All right, I'm kind of looking forward to this. Looking for some oldies in here. You know, I like to find the old tombstones or gravestones. Alright, well, let me take you in here now. Of course, there are going to be some oldies in here, and you know how it is with the old tombstones. They can be very difficult to read. And like I say in other videos, I'm not going to do chalk rubbings or put flour on them, just out of respect for the people that maintain these graveyards. Not everybody wants you doing that in the graveyards. So there is one more modern thing here. Wendell Bowman and his wife Anna, among the first families here in 1710. So this is one of the oldest cemeteries or graveyards in Lancaster County. These people came here in 1710, and this land was granted to them by William Penn, or one of his sons. In fact, the road just up here is called Penn Grant Road. There's a whole series of families that came here in 1710. Of course, the date on the cemetery says 1733, because I think that's when the oldest gravestone here is dated. I think, is it 8 of the oldest gravestones in Lancaster County are located here. So lots of history here. So there, more than likely though, there could be people buried here prior to that 1733 date. As with all these old cemeteries, you'll see a lot of open spaces where people were buried without, you know, nice stone grave markers, but maybe like wooden ones and stuff. I've already seen some old dates. I'll quit yapping here and start showing you some stuff. All right. Okay. This is my cup of tea right here. So I came up to what looks like the oldest section of this graveyard. Because once again, I mentioned, like, there's some open area here, but there's probably actually people buried in here as well. And you can see some of these old ones, once again, they're just these, you know, field stones. So, you know, what date are those? You know, nobody really knows. You know, some of them do have writing on them. Like these right here are pretty cool. These are old. And I've never seen this style quite. So this, like, once again, this is in German, but you can make out the name. Jacob Miller. I remember reading about him. That one also says Jacob Miller, but one of these is probably his wife. I'm gonna assume that the smaller one is his wife. They are dated 1742, but he actually died, where is it, in 1739 is when he died. So that's a nice old date. But he would have been born obviously in the 1600s. Of course, these people were born in Europe, but they don't have the birth date on here. But that is cool. A lot of cool history there. Let me back up a little bit. Yeah, I can't read German, so let's quick look at his wife. I'm pretty sure this is his wife. And I'll explain why it says 1742. But this says that they died in, like hers says 1739 as well. Like this one also says Jacob Miller. But I'm assuming in German somewhere you might read that this is his wife. I think it says, you know, here, look, here lies. I think that's what that, I can read a little bit of German. Maybe I should brush up on that. That's cool. And then once again you have some more just field stones. We'll check out those in a moment up there. But even this little one here looks like an old field stone. Looks like there's a date. I think I can make out 17. And it looks damaged there. I'm not quite sure what that is there. I don't know if that's a 3 or something. Looks like there used to be some writing there. But cool old gravestones here. Alright, so let me explain why it says 1742, but the death date is 1739. But our manure tractor is back. Some fresh new scents out here. But let me turn you around here. So they're not sure exactly why they died. Well, why the death date there is 1739, but his tombstone says 1742. One theory is that whoever was engraving these stones made a bunch of gravestones in advance and all dated them all 1742. They suspect that maybe there was a sickness going around and that they were just maybe preparing for people to die and just, you know, dated a bunch of them 1742, even regardless of when they died, or if that makes any sense. So they're kind of making gravestones in advance because of lots of people were dying, I guess. I don't know. That's one idea. Or maybe people aren't dying, but maybe somebody just made an inventory of gravestones and dated them 1742. Who knows? That's kind of interesting there. All right, let's look at some more here. There's actually some cool ones made up there of slate. I've never seen slate tombstones before. There's another graveyard south of here that has lots of really old slate tombstones, and though the slate preserves the inscriptions a lot better than a lot of these other tombstones do, so we'll check those out in a moment. All right, I'm talking too much again. Let me turn you around. We'll look at some more of these oldies here. So over there were those two old ones, and we have several others that have that same style right here. Looks like these have seen better days. I couldn't see a date anywhere on this one. Of course, oh, actually, I did pull the ground a little bit way down here. Looks like there may be some kind of a date down there. I don't want to disturb things too much here, but I'm not sure what that says. But there's no, I can't make out a date in the thing over in the up further. Here's another one. And this one's really seen the work of time on it. Just beautiful old. I mean, it's covered in moss and lichens at the top. Alright, so I've climbed into this little metal fenced area. Got 3 in here. One of these is legible. You got a Catherine here. Looks like she was born in 1737 or 1732, looks like. Probably shows up better on the camera. And then I think I see a death date down there of 1880 something, 1882 maybe. These other ones are a little bit more difficult to make out. Of course, they do look newer than the ones we just saw. They have a different style to them. Yeah, up there are those old slate ones. And there's our manure buddy. Alright. The smell doesn't actually bother me. I grew up on a farm. might sound gross, but it's, yeah, I was gonna say it's almost a pleasant smell in a memory kind of way. I just remember that smell from being on the farm when I was young. Anyway, all right, moving on. So up there's where we were. Like here is this open area, but you can see how even in this open area, like in this open area, you know, there's a remnant of a field stone there. So there's probably actually multiple stones in this area. You got a few ones that are still old but newer than the ones we've been looking at. Here we got a Johannes Malin. This says when he died, 1823. A lot of these don't have their birth dates on it. What does this say? Oh, he was only does that say 3 months in German? 3 months and 20 days, I guess? So you don't really need a birth date. He didn't live all that long. Wow. In memory of Anne Maria, daughter of, does that say Henry? And Orphy? It says Orphy Miller. That's a name. Orphy? Does that sound like, I guess, Orphy. This one's broken off. Looks like she was only a child as well. And here are the cool black, these are made of black slate. And the inscriptions look really well on here. In memory of Esther Whitmer, died in 1828. Well, she was 59 years old. Hope that's showing up on camera. There's dates and stuff. Must be her husband, John Whitmer, September 28th, 1828. He died the same year. September 22nd. She died on October 7th of the same year. She was 59 and he was a little bit older than her, 74. So I wonder if there was some kind of a sickness going around that year as well, for both people to die the same year, not too far apart from each other. Yeah, there are Whitmers, and I almost thought these were two more, you know, slate grave markers, but they are. But these are the footstones. These are the headstones, and these are the footstones, because it has the initials EW on there for Esther Whitmer. You see the EW on there, and this one says JW for John Whitmer. So we got headstones and footstones. And there's a lot more just all lined up here. Some of these are very difficult to read, but there's some up there which I think we can read. These are newer ones. Like this one here has that typical shape of a lot of the German tombstones around here. Here's one we can read. In memory of Veronica, wife of Daniel. Daniel, oh boy. It looks like a K. Can't quite make Kepperitz or something like that. Died in 1851, aged 81 years old. Well, that is her husband, David. He died in 1843, it looks like. Oh, and these are other footstones again. These are not extra gravestones. So once again, you have their headstone and their footstone, because that's DK, the initials. And down here's another row of headstones and footstones. I don't see too many, you know, like that, where they have the headstones and the footstones. Let's see if we can make out some of these. Here's a David Minnick. Most likely his wife here, Anna. Yeah. Yeah, whenever I see the name Anna, it reminds me of, there was a girl in college I liked, her name was Anna. I won't tell you her last name, but that didn't work out so well. Anyway, she was really cute, but it never went anywhere. Her dad didn't like me, so I actually never met her dad, but anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up, but when I see that name, it always reminds me of her. All right, and then once again, here at the end, you just have more of these. They're just field stones. So who knows? Maybe these people couldn't afford, an engraved tombstone, or who knows. Two more just sitting there. Kind of wonder who they were, though. All right, I'm liking this place. Like I say, we're out. This is the Lancaster countryside. Up there is an Amish homestead. If you know anything about the Amish here in Pennsylvania, Lancaster County. Actually, the one woman or actually, might have been the wife or an older sister, was out here looking for some kids. I guess wandered off. Just a very pastoral scene, I guess you could say, out here. There's another Amish homestead out there. Just a lightly traveled road here. So lots of history in this area. As I drive through here, there's lots of old houses. I'd love to own an old historic house built in the 1700s, kind of restore it. One of my little dreams. I'm not sure if that'll ever happen, but I just like the look, the feel, even the smell of like an old home. All right, I'm gonna walk around just a little bit more. I kind of like it here, to be honest with you. Glad I came here. It's a beautiful day too. This is February 24th. It should be cold, windy, and snowy this time of year here in Pennsylvania, but it's not. Very warm. It feels very spring-like. Spring-like. It's gonna be almost 60 degrees today. Great day to be out doing this. All right. Well, I'm back in the old part. I just love those old tombstones. I just wish I knew when these people were born as well, because those would be some dates back in the 1600s, but they're not marked on here. And so the sign up there says 1733. I thought in my research I read that there was a date from 1732 maybe here as well, but like those two were 1739. But like I said, there's some unmarked ones over there. Even back here, there's an unmarked one. Same as down here and over there. And there's some two old ones too. I couldn't see a date on them. And even back here, there's some stones. So there could be records. I'm guessing there's records somewhere, maybe with the Historical Society or something that has maybe the names and dates of some of these other people, but I don't know what they are offhand. This is definitely one of the oldest cemeteries I've been to. I do enjoy seeing those old dates from like the 1600s. I know that's when they were born. It's still cool. I love old history. I just love to see dates from the 1600s. Maybe that sounds odd, but as a history nerd, I love the older the history, the better. All right. Well, I'm gonna leave this quaint little site behind. Might take one last look at those slate tombstones. Those are pretty cool. It's a beautiful day. I got some other places to go to, so we're gonna leave this quaint countryside and the manure behind. But anyway, thanks for coming along with me and touring this beautiful old cemetery out here in Amish country in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. All right, I'll see you on the next adventure. Thanks for watching.